A British captain keeps his own severed ear in a jar. That ear is about to spark one of the most lopsided battles in military history. In April 1731, a Spanish coast guard boards his ship off the coast of Florida, searching for contraband. The Spanish captain, Juan de León Fandiño, ties him to the mast and slices off his ear in one cut. He tells him, "Go tell your king I'll do the same to him if he dares." Spain had a treaty granting it the right to search British ships for contraband. Coast guards took it very seriously. Jenkins kept the ear in a jar, and nothing happened. For 7 years, nobody cared. Until 1738, when the political opposition, at war with Prime Minister Robert Walpole, found in his story the perfect excuse to push for war. They brought Jenkins before Parliament. There, he pulled out the jar and showed his own severed ear to every single lawmaker. Britain demanded £95,000 in compensation for the insult. Spain refused to pay. Walpole tried to avoid war with a last-minute treaty, the Convention of Porto. Parliament itself rejected it shortly after. Spain responded by canceling trade treaties and seizing British ships in its ports. On October 19, 1739, Britain declared war. Britain's first attack was almost a prank. They sailed into the port of La Guaira flying a Spanish flag to avoid detection. It didn't work. Spanish gunners waited until they were in range and opened fire. The British had to retreat to repair their ships. A month later, Admiral Edward Vernon did succeed. He captured and destroyed the port of Porto Bello, in Panama, with almost no resistance. London celebrated it as a historic feat. They wrote the song Rule, Britannia in its honor, and to this day, there's a street called Porto Bello Road. Emboldened, Vernon set his sights on a much bigger target, Cartagena de Indias, the most important port of the Spanish Empire in America. Defending the city was a Spanish admiral hardened by 1,000 battles. They called him Half-Man. He was missing an eye, a leg, and the use of one hand. Vernon arrived with 186 ships, 2,620 cannons, and over 27,000 men. Blas de Lezo had 6 ships and about 3,000 men. Among the British troops were 4,000 recruits from Virginia, commanded by Lawrence Washington, George Washington's older half-brother. The British took an outer fort, and Vernon, sure he'd already won, sent word to London announcing victory. In London, they celebrated so hard they minted medals showing Blas de Lezo kneeling before Vernon. The problem? The war wasn't over yet. Lezo had ordered trenches dug in front of the walls. When the British attacked at night, their ladders were too short to cross them. At dawn, the Spanish charged with fixed bayonets. It was a massacre, and the surviving British fled back to their ships. One more month of hunger and disease finished off the British army. When Vernon withdrew, he had lost 6,000 men against fewer than 1,000 Spaniards. Vernon returned to England in 1742 to admit he had won nothing. The shame was so great that King George II himself banned any writing about it. The war dissolved into a much bigger European conflict and ended in 1748 almost exactly as it began, with no clear winner. Thousands dead, the largest fleet ever assembled in the Americas, and it all started with a severed ear that a captain kept in a jar for 7 years. If this story sounded made up, subscribe for more real stories that feel impossible. Thanks for watching to the end.